Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the mid-October 2022 reading for the zodiac sign of Taurus. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you with any intuitive messages that I receive, as well as the meaning of the tarot cards. I do recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising just to get a full picture of everything that's going on this month. And if you haven't done so already, please do like, comment, subscribe. Subscriptions help me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post new content. With that being said, let's go and jump in and get started. In column number 1, we're going to take a look at what's wrapping up and coming to a close, so last few weeks or month. Column number 2, we're going to take a look at what's happening through the remainder of October. We're also going to take a look at money, love, and in our 5th and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guides. We're also going to take a look at your crystal of the month, 3 yes or no questions, and a healing note for you. Let's see here in column number 1, again, what's wrapping up and coming to a close. We have the card stretch. In general, Taurus, this is just an indicator that things have taken a little bit more work than we would typically anticipate. Again, that stretch being the call out, like having to stretch a little bit further, pushing a little bit harder to accomplish something. So I'm going to say, Taurus, you've likely had a challenging few weeks. Things have just taken more effort than they typically would. But let's see what messages we have coming through in this first column. Okay, the first card that we have is the 5 of Pentacles. The 5 of Pentacles in general, again, is just kind of a card of struggles. It's things not happening easily. This is also a card of worry. But again, that's kind of echoing the message I think that we had with the stretch card already. Of course, we'll clarify and see what else is there. The next card we have is the 2 of Wands. The 2 of Wands is a card of having to wait. So in addition to like having to try a little bit harder for things, some of that could have been waiting as well. Waiting just seems to be a message coming through for you in general, Taurus. This is also a card of travel plans, so some of you could have had to make travel plans recently, or not could have had to. That maybe wasn't the right thing to say. You got to make travel plans, Taurus. They've made it sound more like a chore than something happy. The next card that we have is the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is very studious, very hardworking, and again, I think this is coming through as that extra effort that you've been having to put in to get things done. This also could be a card of new love, so some of you could have a new love interest as well. That could be family, friends, truly a love interest, but some sort of new person there. Let's take a look here, going through our clarifiers. The first clarifier we have is the Ace of Swords. Anytime we have an Ace card, this is a card of newness. With the case of Ace of Swords, this is new ideas, new conflict, new mental clarity. I will say that there could have, again, I feel like things were just challenging, so conflict may not be the correct word, but it was like things were more challenging than we anticipated, or they needed to have been, or they should have been. The nice thing out of this, though, is there always is clarity that comes with the Ace of Swords, so definitely some new clarity for you as well, Taurus. The next card that we have is the King of Wands. The King of Wands is a card of being very powerful, being very bold, being very charming and courageous. So even though we're in this period of waiting, it's like you know that you're going to come out on top. You know that everything's going to be fine. You know that everything's going to work out. This King of Wands is coming through for you, Taurus, regardless of gender, but it's like just acknowledging that everything is going to be okay. Another message I wanted to give with the King of Wands here in terms, sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought. Oh, this is like taking the lead. So some of you could really be taking the lead on travel plans too. Like maybe people are trying to get a group of people together or initiate or get something planned. And I kind of see you taking the lead on that, Taurus. The next card that I have is the 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups is my favorite card in the entire deck. If you haven't listened to my readings before, if you have, I'm sure you've heard me say that before. But the 10 of Cups is everything wonderful. We have a nice full rainbow at the top here, a happy couple, kids playing, grass is green, water's running, there's a house in the background. Definitely this new relationship seems very long lasting, very promising, very happy. But in general, the Ten of Cups is an indicator of success and happiness and contentment. So I do think you are still successful in everything that happened these last few weeks, Taurus, even though it's just more challenging than we would have liked it to be. Okay, now let's take a look at our next column, which is just general what's coming for the month of October or the remainder of October. We have the card renewal. I like to see renewal. It's always good to renew our energies, get our energy back right, find that perfect balance. I like to see the renewal card for anybody. So this is a great card for you here, Taurus. But let's see what other messages we may have associated with the renewal card. Again, this column is just general what's coming for the remainder of October. The first card is the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is pretty stagnant. This is like waiting and needing information before you could move forward. It's very, very stagnant. It's like you've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and we talked about that. There's definitely been some waiting for you. The nice thing is, though, it does seem like things are going to start moving. We're going to have to make the decision here to get moving or take a different approach. With the Two of Swords, the Two of Swords is a feeling of compromise, a feeling of needing to make a decision. And that decision oftentimes doesn't feel exactly what we wanted. And I'm not surprised to see that, because then we're followed by the Tower card, which is that kind of unwanted change. So there's a decision that needs to be made going into the end of October, and it's not the decision you want to make. I always like to explain the Tower card as like you planned A, B, C, and D, E, F ends up happening, which is a bummer. But sometimes that is just kind of how life plays out. So again, it was already kind of feeling like a compromise. It's not a decision or change you would have liked to have made, Taurus. But again, it does seem to have a very positive high overnote there with renewal. So it's going to take us to a good place. It's need to accomplish what we need to accomplish, but it's not feeling ideal. Okay, the first clarifier we have is the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is a card of waiting. We already kind of talked about that. The Hanged Man is like just waiting, stagnant, like you need more information. The next card we have is the Justice card. The Justice card is a card of cause and effect, win-win solutions, which I like to see, because again, I was telling you with the Two of Swords, this is feeling like a compromise. It's feeling kind of crappy, but at the end of the day, it is going to be a win-win solution. Also, truth coming out. So you're going to get the information that you need. Again, the Hangman is like you're waiting for information. So the Justice is saying you're going to get the information you need. In terms of legal matters, contracts, things of the court, the Justice is an indicator in your favor as well. So keep that in mind. So if you have anything court-like, legal, contractual, this is a good outcome for you too. At the bottom here, we have the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is very nurturing, very healing, very supportive. So you're going to be supported through this change. Like I said, it's really what's meant to happen, Taurus. And one thing to keep in mind, so if you look at the Queen of Cups, the cup on this card isn't really even a cup. It's more of a trophy. And again, this is an indicator of the success and the positive outcome of everything when it's all said and done. Okay, now let's take a look at our next column, which is anything related to money. Think job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments you have. Again, anything you associate with money. The first card that we have is the Sun card. In terms of good cards in the tarot deck, it really doesn't get much better than the Sun card. This is a card of material happiness, joyous outcomes, success. I'm feeling for a lot of you, this is a really positive shift in money. I feel like so many of you just been heads down, working so hard. So we're really going to start seeing some success to this. We're going to feel good about money. We're going to feel good about our job. And you may not have felt that in a while, honestly, Taurus, is kind of what I'm seeing and feeling. So really like the Sun and the placement there. The next card that we have is the Knight of Cups. This is our Prince or Princess Charming type card. It's very romantic. It's very proposal-like. And I know you're like, okay, that's a love card. But it does have a meaning in money too. So this could be a business proposal. It could be a job offer. It could be a new business or relationship. Could connection that's being made, but this is like the offer you've been hoping for, the thing you've been wanting. So this is neat to see. And like I said, this could be person or offer or proposal, but it is like very appealing. Again, it's coming through as like the knight in shining armor, everything you had hoped and dreamed for. At the bottom here, we have the King of Cups. The King of Cups is very supportive. This is a card of leadership, very much so. Some of you could be moving into leadership roles. This is a very tolerant and empathetic card too, which is coming through as you, Taurus. I feel like you kind of have a bubble around you and everything is just bouncing off of you this month or going into the end of this month, which is good to see. Okay, clarifying out this column, our first clarifier is the Queen of Wands. This is very confident, very self-assured. With the Queen of Wands, this is like, it's interesting because I don't know that you need this reminder at this moment, Taurus, but it's like everything's going to be okay, but you already know that, so I don't need to tell you that. And things are really better than okay. They're like wonderful at this point, given the sun, and they're going to stay that way. This is like a weight has been lifted. You're very confident in this state. Usually this is a reminder to be confident, or a reminder to be self-assured, but again, you don't really need that reminder. Like you truly know, Taurus. The next card that we have is the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is very reliable, very patient, very hardworking. There's no doubt, Taurus, how hard you have worked for whatever this Knight in Shining Armor, Knight of Cups is, whether it's that business proposal, that new partnership. The Knight of Pentacles is the hard work you've put in, being patient, being reliable, being heads down, but this is like receiving the reward of that hard work. And then at the bottom here, we have the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is a card of teamwork, collaboration. Again, I really do see some of you moving into a leadership role and having this team underneath you. But again, tolerant and empathetic. Your collaboration, your skills, your quality, all of it is off the charts this month. This is like a token of how great the work is that you're doing as well, Taurus. In case your company hasn't told you lately, let me make sure I tell you. Okay, anyways though, moving on to our next column, let's take a look at anything related to love. Think relationships, friends, marriage, proposal, children, really whatever you associate with love, Taurus. The first card we have is the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is a card of stress, exhaustion, having too many burdens. It does seem like some of you are feeling really tired, so do be aware of that. I like the Ten of Wands in the sense that I can give this to people as kind of a warning that you're getting tired and that you're feeling burnt out. You have so many things going on, Taurus, and sometimes you kind of have to take a step back and go at them one at a time. But this is like a worn out burning card, so a burnout warning card. So I always like when I can give that to people rather than just letting them burn out. The next card that we have is the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is also another really tired card, Taurus. In general, I feel like you're kind of needing a break. This is typically like a card of worry, but paired together, I feel like these are just coming through as overwhelmed energy. And then at the bottom here, we have the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is a really positive ending to this. Definitely confirmation that everything is going to be okay. This is victory, award, recognition, good news, success. So it's not like relationships ending or things are falling apart or anything like that, but this is more so just a reminder that you're tired and you need to be giving yourself a break here, Taurus. Okay, the first card that we have is the Seven of Cups, the first clarifier, excuse me. And the Seven of Cups is a really commonly, like this card comes up a lot for me as busy. And it makes total sense. If you take a look at this card, there is something different happening in each of these cups. We already talked about how busy you've been, Taurus, and how busy you've been feeling. So not at all surprised to see this just because you're overwhelmed. You have so much going on. So again, make sure we prevent that burnout type energy going into the end of this month. This is validation too. I was telling you that I thought the Ten of Wands and the Nine of Swords were associated. Well, now on top of our Nine of Swords, we have our Ten of Wands, which again makes total sense. This kind of sleepless night, this worry, this angst, it's all tied into these kind of like overcommitment, burnout, exhaustion type energy. So just be aware, make sure you're resting and not overdoing things. And at the bottom here, we have the Five of Swords. This indicates like conflicts or kind of rocky issues that could be going on. However, again, there's no like relationship issues. I feel like it's just all wrapped up in the craziness that's happening. So do make sure you acknowledge that. But I think a lot of the conflicts that could be coming up for you are just because you don't have time, you don't have energy. There's so much going on, you're so busy. And again, at the bottom, we have the Six of Wands. So again, there is success, there's recognition, there's good news. So nothing major derailing here. Now let's take a look at our fifth and final column, which is a message from our future self or spirit guides. We have the card Center. Center is about taking a step back and taking care of us, getting recentered, getting rebalanced. This is very fitting, especially just coming off what we just talked about and some of kind of the tired energy, having lots of burdens. So with the Center card, I like to see this. Also, this is never selfish. I know some people feel like this is selfish and sometimes doing this feels selfish, but it's not, Taurus. So taking a step back, taking care of you is not a selfish thing whatsoever. But let's take a look here and see what we've got going on. The first card that we have is the Ace of Pentacles. Anytime we have an Ace card, it's a card of newness. In the case of Ace of Pentacles, this is typically new job, income, money, some sort of money news, promotion, investment. So it does seem like there's a money shift coming for you, which is good. We talked about that already too. Like the money cards are just looking so positive for you this month, Taurus. The next card we have is the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is a card of new job, raise, or money. So again, these kind of repeat money. Money seem to maybe be a struggle or a worry, but the energy is really shifting and getting turned around for you. And at the bottom, we have the Justice, which again is favorable for you. So I'm not surprised to see this. There's so many favorable money shifts coming here, Taurus. Let's go through though and take a look and clarify out this last column. Our first clarifier is the Five of Pentacles, or excuse me, the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is a card of rivalry, obstacles, challenges, it's bumps in the road. And again, this was kind of a long fought road to get to this point, but now you're at the point of the shift. But this is kind of an acknowledgement of what you've been through. And like I said, there does seem to be like relatively recent money concerns. So this is like the fruit after the labor, if you will. The next card we have is the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is a card of low feelings. This could be grief, this could be worry. I do feel like some of you are worried that things just weren't going to work out, like you weren't going to get this opportunity, you weren't going to get this money. There was a kind of slump. But again, it ties into some of the efforts and some of the trials that have happened to get to this point, Taurus. And at the bottom here, we have the Queen of Swords. This is a card of self-sufficiency. And this is to be self-sufficiency, not so much in the conventional manner. But when we think about money and being self-sufficient with money, it's a very good place to be. And it doesn't mean that you're single or you don't want to be with somebody or that you don't need somebody or anything like that, but it's the ability to stand on your own financially. So this is speaking to the financial strength that's coming your way, Taurus. Okay, at this point, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions. We're going to use the Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, you can pause the video and think of them really quick. But for question number 1, we have the Two of Hearts. This is the number 19 card. That's going to be a yes. Question number 2 is the Two of Diamonds. This is the number 18 card. That's a yes. And question number 3 is the Eight of Diamonds. This is number 44 card. That's going to be a no. So yes, yes, no for you, Taurus. If you watched your video earlier this month, we did pull a crystal from our Healing Stones deck, which is a crystal to keep with you through the month of October. This month you have Moonstone, which is good feminine energy. It's a key to devotion, and it really helps keep the crazy at bay, which is good because it sounds like you have a ton going on right now, Taurus. And then last but not least, we're going to pull a card from our Healing Notes deck. Your Healing Note says, You have the power to heal your life, and you need to know that. We often think we are helpless, but we are not. We always have the power of our minds. Calm and consciously use your power. Thank you so much, Taurus, for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this video resonates with you. Again, subscriptions help me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post new content. If you feel inclined, I did include my Venmo in the comments box. But thank you so much, Taurus, and I hope you have a wonderful October.